Hello, this is my design for a beginner drill farm. When you're getting into metals, the only thing more annoying than creating these mining drills is actually filling them up with the required drills. This should get rid of that problem. After you've already gone through a bit of iron production, getting into drill production is most likely going to be your next objective. So you never have to worry about drills again. The way this farm works is based on a simple loop. It has the least amount of conveyors possible, and there are other conveyors that you can add to make it more efficient or just to be better and produce more at a time. The way it works is that we prioritize making iron first. So we have all the firewood, we have all the logs going into a log splitter to make firewood, which go into the smelter, and then they go into making the iron ore. And then once all the iron bars come out, they create beams, and then any remaining fuel comes through to make stone, and then the beams and the stone combine to make the drills. We have the drill collection coming right before the drills so that the drills make it through back to all the previous mining drills before being collected. So this farm is self-sufficient and self-sustaining. When it comes to making drills, the stone is the lowest priority. That's why we put it last. So all the logs prioritize these two components, the smelter and the mining drill, from making the iron before going to the stone. And even with a few logs in here, it makes it to the stone anyway. If you have the resources for it, you should invest in a storage logic gate. It probably will cost like $400 just to make it through the shop. So right now, it's scanning the blacksmith, and if stones are ever above 28%, it will turn this off. So as you can see, since it is below that 28% or 30%, whatever you set it to, if it's below that, then it will turn it on. So right now it is turned on. Ideally, you would want to improve this farm with the new addition of the kiln, and I would personally just put in some extra mining drills and smelters specifically for iron. First, we're going to get into the build, and then I can show you all those changes and additions. All right, so we're going to start with a buffer going straight into our log splitter. The log splitter only produces fire logs every 7 seconds. So we're going to set our conveyor buffer to 7 seconds so it doesn't overflow. Then we're going to start our loop. We'll just put it going into a T-joint, make sure it's facing the correct direction. And then we're going to go into our iron making area. We can just put a smelter and then put a mining drill. Again, we're just putting the smelter first so that cooking iron's prioritized rather than drilling it. You can put it the other way, but if you add in like more drills or smelters, you're going to want the smelters to go first, just so that they are prioritized fuel wise. And then next you're going to have the iron being crafted into iron beams. And then this is going to go from the iron beams. Now to create the drills, you need iron beams and stone. So we're going to have this one more mining drill making stone. And then I'm going to place down these 2 storage racks just in case you want to manipulate the farm ever. You can collect any excess logs, and then here's going to be the drill head collection. And then now we're going to work towards closing this loop, and then finally placing the blacksmith. This is the blacksmith that's going to be building all of our drill heads. Again, we want to make sure that we're collecting drills right before drills are being made, so that any made drills just flow back through the system, so that the system works on its own and you don't have to manage it at all, and it'll just make you infinite drills as long as you give it fuel. Next, something that is a little expensive but highly suggested is this storage logic gate. We can place this down wherever. And the way that these work is that first, let's scan something. Let's scan this blacksmith. the way that the storage logic gates work is that if you want something to be turned on or off, depending on something else's storage. So in this case, I don't want the stone to overflow. So we're going to be scanning this blacksmith. And if there's too much stone in this blacksmith, then it's going to tell this mining drill to stop mining. So right now we're looking at the stone. And if stone ever goes above 30%, then it's going to turn it off. And then we will connect it to the mining drill. And since 4% is lower than 30%, it will send an on signal. So we check this. Yes, it's saying on. Another thing to do is to set all of the fuel storage to the lowest as possible, because chances are you're not going to be putting in a constant stream of fuel for a beginner system. So you're going to want everything spaced out as evenly as possible, and making the storage as low as possible pretty much guarantees this. Now after you have this all built, go around and make sure everything is facing the right way. And specifically on these corners, since we're dealing with drill heads, it's probably smartest to put high walls on, because drill heads like to stack on top of other items and fall off the tracks. So actually, if you're going to put these high walls anywhere, you'd want to put them on this side, because usually they do fall behind other materials on their first high wall corner turn. Yeah, I think we're all set. We're going to fill it up with logs and watch it work. All right, I just maxed this buffer out on logs. You can see it was just at red. So now we're going to watch all the fire logs go through. I guess you do have to set this to something. All right. Yeah, you can set the minimum to 3. Yeah, you do want it to collect as minimal fuel as possible. And for some reason, it collects more than you put. Maybe that's by batch, not sure. We're just going to put it on 3. That seems to work out well. Right now, since I want the system to keep going until all the fuel is used, I have my fire log storage set to 0. So all the fuel is just going to keep going around until it's all expended. If you want to increase the rates of drills made, all you would have to do is add more slots for iron. In this case, we can add 2 more mining drills and 1 more smelter. We're going to move these things up. Just move them out of the way over here. And we're going to put this conveyor first. So now everything is even right here. So we're going to put 2 smelters first. I think actually I want to go smelter, drill, drill. Yeah. Just to space it out more. And then with these 2, lines up perfectly. Make sure everything's facing the right way. Fuel set to 3. Facing the right way. Let's do 3 again. Smelter, 3. Smelter, 3. Bang. Alright, now you'll definitely need more steady stream of logs for this, but it should hold up. Any advanced building or conveyor system is going to end up costing you a lot of iron. So something you can do to tack on to this system we have here is to just steal half of the iron you create for yourself. So we can just put a conveyor here at the end with the splitter. And so half the iron goes into making drills and the other half we'll just put into storage. And this will help you with creating plenty of mining drills in the future, or smelters in the future, and those metal boxes, the iron frames that you need in the future as well. You could even have this going straight into a blacksmith for those iron frames. After building this, all of your future drill needs and all your future farms will be met. Unless it's a huge, hefty farm where you'll need double this. This is an easy loop and configurable system to get whatever you need out of it. And if you need the quick money, you can always sell some drills. You just go down to the mechanic store and you can sell them. But besides that, I hope this was easy enough to follow. I hope it's easy to build. Thanks for watching.